This video is going to talk about a super spicy story that happened in mid-June. It involves the United States and President Donald Trump. Trump was about to pick up a pen to sign an MOU with Iran, hoping for a 60-day ceasefire so that the Strait of Hormuz could open up and everyone could breathe a little easier. The hope was that inflation would ease up a bit. But in any case, Israel, America's close friend, didn't care at all about what agreements the US was about to sign. They kept on bombing Lebanon anyway. So Iran came out and said, "Oh, you want to open the Strait of Hormuz? You broke the agreement, so just don't open it then." Here, the current disagreement between the United States and Israel raises a significant question. Why is that? Is there a specific underlying reason or a strategic shift behind this tension? Of course, there has to be a reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making this video. The background of this conflict is that the United States wants peace, but Israel is saying no need for peace. This global shift is occurring because the long-standing traditional industries and the emerging modern wealth-generating sectors in the world are clashing. The specific industry that has generated extraordinarily high levels of financial profit throughout the last 100 or 200 years of world history and has never truly stopped is what we call the forever war model, or the endless war model. This particular model fundamentally requires a state of constant global instability in order to continue to make money. Meanwhile, in this world, a new industry has suddenly emerged that has the potential to make even more money than any industry before, even more than the forever war model. That is the AI industry, with the caveat that this is just a trend for now. Of course, these two industries have very different needs. They just can't go together. So this incompatibility between the United States and Israel is actually a great point to use in explaining how the world right now is caught between the old business model of making profits through war and the new business model of using AI, which is likely to be even more profitable. Which one is more likely to win? Let's go ahead and find out together in this video. You can support this video by scanning the QR code shown right here on the screen, or you can easily and directly support the Sign Money Monster channel. Hit like, share, and leave a comment to chat with us. And don't forget to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, just hit the button once. That's all you need to do. And if any of you wants to choose to support the Sign Money Monster channel so we can keep sharing financial stories and life lessons freely like this for a long time, you can become a valued member of our community. Thank you. Now, let's start with a quick roundup of the timeline. Just going back a little bit. What happened on June 17th? President Donald Trump signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with Iran and got this document. Ta-da! This is truly a historic document. I've seen a lot of people posting it on social media. Wow! At last, peace is returned to our world. Soon the Strait of Hormuz will reopen and everyone will have oil to use again. And then on June 18th, the 60-day framework began. Let's have a ceasefire. Even 60 days is better than nothing, right? Everyone was hopeful, thinking, all right, the Strait of Hormuz is about to reopen this time. Let's take a look at the graph of ships leaving Hormuz. As soon as the MOU was announced, we can see from the graph that the number of ships leaving Hormuz shot up just a bit. So what happened next? It turned out that on June 20th, Israel didn't care at all about whatever deal Donald Trump's friend was signing. They just kept on bombing Lebanon. At that time, Iran came out and condemned them, saying, hey, you guys aren't keeping your promises. As for the Strait of Hormuz that you said you'd keep open, just forget about it. No one in the world needs to have oil then, seriously. Back then, when Iran made that statement, there were still people hoping it wouldn't happen. They had just signed an MOU after all. And that was at the level of the President of the United States, too. It probably won't happen, right? They probably won't close it. And then on June 24th, President Donald Trump came out and announced that the Strait of Hormuz was open. Even though it was only partially open, that's still better than a complete shutdown, right? But on the day Donald Trump announced that the Strait of Hormuz was open, Israel was still sending out drones to attack. Well, not attacking exactly, they were just flying all over Lebanese airspace. Which, yeah, sure, the President of the United States can announce whatever he wants, but the reality might not be exactly as he says. So that made me go back and look at the graph of ships leaving the Strait of Hormuz, which only spiked up a little bit. But then it just made a U-turn. Or you could even call it a V-turn. It just sharply dropped right back to where it started. Anyone who got all excited about it, thinking, oh, we're gonna have oil to use again, inflation won't get any worse. I'm telling you now, you're celebrating for nothing. So in the end, no one has officially been able to buy oil exported through the Strait of Hormuz yet, except for China. Right now, Iran and its gang of allies are probably sitting back with their arms crossed, quietly amused, thinking, let's just wait and see how your colony turns out. That country's economy and its market, how long can they really survive? At this point in the story, a lot of people are probably starting to feel like, hey, is it really? That means global cooperation, like between the United States and Iran, to the point where they've actually signed agreements. And the lack of cooperation is also on a global scale. For example, the US has already signed the deal, but Israel is still dropping bombs on them. So why is there this kind of conflict happening? And then the lives and economies of the whole world are being hung on this deal. That is the opening and closing of the Strait of Hormuz. And this uncertainty that we're seeing, actually, it's certainty. Without a doubt, it's been on hold, frozen like this for a long time, a full 250 years. Because, of course, Israel doesn't want peace to happen in this world, since there's a way to generate significant wealth and massive profits through this method, an industry that uses a model called the Forever War, or the model of perpetual and endless warfare, an endless war. In this video, I'll explain to you what the Forever War model, this endless war, is, and how it came to be. How does it make money? Let's start from the beginning. Right from this point, throughout the 250 years of being the United States of America, since its founding, during these 250 years, 93% of the time, the United States has been involved in or has had a part in war. And there have only been about 15 or perhaps 20 years of total and complete peace. But if you ask, is that actually really true? America doesn't seem like it's been at war constantly throughout its history. Was it really that much? It doesn't seem like there have been that many wars. Well, that's true, because if you look at all the wars the United States has had or been involved in, actually, Congress has only officially declared that the United States was at war 5 times in history. And then the question is, this forever war model, how does it monetize? How does it generate revenue? Let's paint a simple picture. Let's start by asking, what do you need to wage war? The answer is yes, you use weapons to wage war. So if there's a war, that means there's a use case. That means weapons will sell well, which increases demand for weapons. Next, when there is a war happening, right? So what gets destroyed? The answer is it's the area where the war takes place, the cities that are in the war zone. It's those war-torn cities that get destroyed. And those cities are basically the market. They become the marketplace for buying and selling weapons. Or, for example, the government buys weapons to use in that city. And in the end, that city that ends up ruined and damaged, there isn't any country that would willingly allow war to happen, let cities be destroyed, and just leave those ruined cities as scars in the middle of the country like that. In the end, everyone has to integrate, has to repair and rebuild, right? So after the war, they've already made money selling weapons, right? Once the fighting is over and the cities are completely destroyed, what do? They collect money to rebuild everything from scratch. It's a model. It's a super money yummy model. Just smash everything to pieces, and once it's all destroyed, make them pay us to come back and fix it. Brilliant, right? And when it makes this much money, does increasing the scale of this count as doing business? And waging war, well, that's business too. Because if you look at the numbers from after the Cold War, from around 1948 to 1999, but the United States and the Soviet Union, back when America used to intervene militarily in other countries, there were 46 instances throughout the Cold War era. But after the Cold War, in the 25 years that followed, the number of times the United States used military intervention increased from 46 to 188 times. And between 1947 and 1989, the United States attempted to change or overthrow the governments of other countries as many as 72 times. Where, you ask? For example, Vietnam, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, the Somalia, Libya, Iraq, Korea, and so on. There's Afghanistan too. But if you really think about it, did you ever see America actually send troops to fight and die for anyone that much? Not really, because the United States, if you compare social classes, is basically the rich guy in the world. Because rich people, they don't go out and fight with anyone themselves, they send someone else to do it. That's right, they use a method called proxy, XY war, or proxy war. When it comes to seeking power, they don't invade themselves, they don't send their own people to fight, and they don't use their own homes as battlefields. I've made a video before explaining about the proxy war in detail in this video. You can go and check that out for yourself. The principle of proxy war that the United States uses is to have a proxy, which is typically another nation, go and create significant conflict and trouble, and then the United States plays the role of the police to oversee, control, and manage the chaos again. Pretty cool, right? As for how to find someone to be a proxy, you have to find a friend, an ally, someone who looks like, hey, this friend here seems to have a reason to go and fight someone else. Like they already have a reason to go to war with someone else. That way, it looks more natural. Because if you lie 100%, people won't believe you. But if you mix a little bit of a lie with some truth, it's much easier to fool people. And that friend that the United States found, whoa, not bad at all, because that friend is actually quite rich. That friend is Israel, because Israel has its own reasons to go fight others in order to protect its territory. Treaty, right? And if you ask what the United States does for its friend, well, it does a lot. The United States provides financial support to Israel's military, amounting to billions of US dollars each year. They support Israel both militarily and with weapons, and even grant them veto rights to Israel as well. Like, the UN puts forward any proposals that seem, if Israel is not satisfied with the arrangement, then, well, the US gives them the right to veto. But what exactly do they give in return? In exchange for Israel playing the role of a proxy in America's wars to safeguard vital American interests in the Middle East? This kind of relationship between the United States and Israel can sustain a business model, the forever war, an endless war, because one side provides the money and the other side creates instability. Because yes, wherever there is conflict and war, there is always significant money to be made. So absolutely anyone who obstructs the path to making that money, or in other words, anyone who calls for peace, usually doesn't end up well. At this point, many people might be thinking, if the information is like this, then that should mean the United States must be the one controlling Israel. But why does Israel dare to act like it doesn't care about the MOU America signed and still go ahead and bomb Lebanon? Because Israel's actions this time should have made America really angry, to the point that the deal fell apart. And if you've been following my videos, you probably already know, right, that the United States right now is at its weakest point. Their main weakness is inflation, is interest rates. And if the Strait of Hormuz gets blocked, oil can't get through, and the oil that needs to be released from the USS, Strategic Petroleum, their national oil reserves, if those run out, that would be a huge problem. Now, moving on to the question, between America and Israel, who's really in control? Some people say, some people say, based on the information, it seems like America is the one controlling Israel. Others argue that's not true, because it's actually these ultra-powerful, insanely wealthy families who control American politicians behind the scenes. But honestly, the real answer is pretty ambiguous when it comes to who's actually above whom between America and Israel. Still, the answer that isn't what is truly ambiguous is that, in reality, both of these countries are actually under the absolute power of global capital. This overarching power is often called the capital machine. So when we talk about these two specific countries, America and Israel, being under the heavy influence of capital, I really want to explain this concept clearly to everyone. The entire world can be divided into two very clear types of governance. The first type is under the power of capital, right? And the second type is sovereign states, which means the government is above the capitalists. The government can only be above the capitalists when that country doesn't have elections, or when elections don't really matter that much. Next, there aren't any, or even if there are. So countries that are sovereign states include China. In China, the government gives orders to the capitalists. And yes, the Chinese government can deal with capitalists directly. They can just toss them aside, no matter how powerful or massive the capitalist is, no matter where their power comes from. If you want to see what it looks like when the Chinese government tosses out a capitalist, go check out the Tencent clip. Back then, Tencent was already worth hundreds of billions of US dollars. They were one of the biggest capitalists in China, yet China was able to crack down and bring Tencent to its knees. Or even Jack Ma, he only just recently returned to public life. Why? Because of the Chinese government, of course. Next, which other countries are sovereign states? Russia. Russia also has a history of punishing capitalists. Iran, yes, Iran too. It's a sovereign state. In a sovereign state, the government is the employer and the capitalists are the employees. This is different from a state that is a democracy where the capitalists are the employers and the government is the employee. Thailand is like that too. So we don't have to be so shocked or surprised when we feel like politicians are always catering to the capitalists. It's just necessary to cater to the capitalists. Why is that? Because of the votes. Where do leaders get votes? They're won through elections, which require a lot of money. A huge amount of money, in fact. As long as any country still has elections, the government will always be under the capitalists. I'm not being sarcastic here. That's the system. In the US, who are the capitalists? BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, major political donors. For example, J.D. Vance. Who supports him? Peter Thiel. $15 million. So who's Peter Thiel? Peter Thiel, the owner of Palantir. But if someone asks, when will politicians stop pandering the capitalists? They can't. As long as elections still require money, politicians will always need capitalists. Anyway, let's get back to our topic. The next method that makes the forever war work is that it needs to create unrest, right? If you want to create unrest, just going and attacking their home out of nowhere sometimes might not break them. So if you really want to create unrest, you have to break them from the inside. So who has the power to do that? It would have to be a force strong enough to break apart another city, meaning they have to be a superpower that controls the financial industry, which is the United States. And they must have an important financial weapon, which is the dollar, because everyone needs to use the US dollar. For international trade, they have to use the dollar to buy oil, to buy energy. So if you don't have dollars, it's really tough. That's why the way to break other countries apart, the first method the United States uses is sanctions. Just sanction them. The second method is to cut them off from the US dollar system, cut them off from the SWIFT system. Even if they have money, is in the SWIFT system, right? They freeze it, just freeze it, seize it, like what happened to Russia with 300 billion US dollars. And if you get blocked from accessing the dollar system, the US dollar, you can't sell your goods to other countries. So how are you gonna make money? Your economy will collapse. And if you don't have oil and you wanna buy oil, what do you need to use? You have to use dollars. How long can you survive without oil? Can your country produce oil? Well, if you can, that's fine. But if you can't, you're in trouble. The third way is to start a war. You can start a war or do a proxy war, but it's still war. And it's not just waging war, make the war. Drag on for as long as possible, because the longer the war, the higher the inflation gets. And when inflation gets really high, you might ask, what does the government use to wage war? Waging war, right? Okay, you use weapons, but what do you use to buy weapons? Money. And where does the government get that money from? Collecting taxes is probably not enough anymore, right? So the easiest way to get money for war is to just print it. The government wages war by printing money. And if the more newly minted money they print, the more that specific currency will lose its value. And when a currency loses value, it means the money becomes inflated. Goods and products will get more expensive. And if the country that's waging war manages to drag the war on even longer, the more it drags on, the more the currency will lose its value. This keeps happening over and over until the country's currency becomes so worthless that it's basically like tissue paper. And at that point, the people throughout the country will be crushed by poverty and hunger, pushing them to hate their country's leader. And this will lead to an uprising to drive out the leader, and the country will fall into unrest. And eventually the economy will collapse on its own. Finally, the fourth method, how to undermine another country. This one might take a longer time and may seem like the most peaceful way, but actually it's not. That is buying up domestic media buying media to incite people in the country to hate each other, to be divided, to split into two opposing sides. The more, with social media these days, echo chambers create spaces where people on one side only hear their own views. This makes people hate each other more easily because there's no chance to even try to understand the other side. It makes people hate each other for that very reason, and then the citizens of the entire nation end up violently tearing themselves apart from within. The more they hate each other, the more violently they split. And then eventually there will be protests, civil war, or people clashing with each other. Or maybe they'll clash with the government. In the end, the economy will collapse on its own anyway, to be honest. The reason I'm sharing this information with you, not to focus on how to or the methods to break apart other countries, that's not really the point. I want you to focus more on the fact that these methods are real, people actually use them, and they really do work. Especially if the people in the country already hate each other. But if people are united, these methods can hardly do anything at all. And when a country falls apart, when people are fighting each other, what the superpowers will do next is that they will intervene. They will take our resources, process them, sell them off, make money, and build wealth for themselves. Wealth that should have been ours. And all of this just because we hate each other. I have to say, I can't say outright that it's definitely the United States, but the country with the most potential to do this is the United States. Because it has to be a country that controls the financial industry, and honestly, the United States fits that best. It has to be a country that controls the financial industry, and it also has to be a country with military power. That's why it's called the US dollar. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to control the flow of money and the financial systems of other countries to that extent. And this is one of the reasons why, throughout the modern financial era, the United States has been a superpower, controlling the world's reserve currency, which is the US dollar, and also controlling other countries through the US dollar as well. And if you look at it from an investor's perspective, when you choose to invest, just put your money in the most prominent companies, the dominant leaders within their respective industries, and you'll gradually build significant wealth. And yes, if you invest your money in the United States, which they are the #1 leaders in the world, like the S&P 500 index, why wouldn't you get rich? And that's exactly what has happened. Over the past 100 years, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of 10%. Anyone who consistently invests their money in the S&P 500 with discipline, if you do that for 60 years, at the end of those 60 years, you'll be holding millions for your retirement. You'd be a millionaire, every single one of you, because America is the undisputed #1 winner in the world. So if anyone ever happens to ask you, what if you just put your money into the S&P 500 from now on consistently, just keep investing there, will you? Get the same results? You have to analyze further and ask yourself, do you think that America will still remain #1, so far ahead of everyone else for the next 100 years? Now, you all understand that anything that makes money, the more money it makes, the longer it will last. It'll keep going until someone comes along to destroy it, which doesn't seem likely because there's just so much money involved. Or it will last until something else comes along that can make significantly more money than it does. Now, the way of thinking is this. If we drop a bomb on someone's house, okay, the person dropping the bomb has to buy the bomb. And after we drop it, the house owner has to rebuild, has to repair the house. Then we make money from selling the bomb, from the airplane used to drop the bomb, and also from the repair costs for repairing the house. But all of that is a one-time deal. But with this brand new business model, if we tell them to build a data center and secure a long-term financial loan from us, their house has to pay interest on that loan to build the data center. And that can last for a full 30 years or even longer, you know? And if we offer them a deal and say, hey, you should really utilize this specific proprietary software to run everything, every single thing in your house. Then, as time goes by, you enter names, registration numbers, information, link everything together, and once it's all set up, it's all done. If you want to change the software, it's really hard, I'm telling you. So you'll have to buy my proprietary software and pay the subscription fee. Now, if you ask whether it's possible to remove embedded software like this after it's been installed, well, you can, but it's difficult and might not be worth it. So who does this? Palantir does it, NVIDIA does it, companies like that do it. And what I'm talking about here is the ultimate conflict, the highest level of conflict. It's not just countries in conflict with each other, it's actually a clash between different ways of making money. It's a conflict between the so-called forever war model and a new model that's emerging, which is AI, because over war needs instability. But with AI, you can't build AI infrastructure in a country that's on fire. Right now, we can see that over the past several years, the United States has invested massively in the AI industry, borrowing huge amounts of money to bet on AI, and it's become enormous. This means that the US might want to shift its industry from war making to the AI industry. Meanwhile, Israel, it might still be clinging to its old business model, the forever war. But anyway, in this spicy situation, we can see Donald Trump coming out and saying, for example, if it were Donald Trump, if I were the Israeli cabinet, honestly, I really don't think it's a good idea to attack the only incredibly powerful ally remaining left in the world. And if anyone in Israel is thinking that the biggest problem that Israel is facing is the president of the United States, it's time to wake up and accept the reality of the situation your country's facing. After hearing all of this, the final question that Sin Money Monster channel fans really want to know is, Petrai, so are you going to invest in AI stocks right now? Is it still possible to buy them or not? You really never disappoint me. If you ask whether you can still buy them, I can't say because I have to insist that I won't give investment advice. And say that investing your money is your own, it's not mine. And if you lose money, I won't be there to comfort you. But the correct information is that right now, AI profits are really booming. And because profits are booming, that's why the PE ratio, it's not actually that expensive. But if you ask whether AI is in a bubble, yeah, it is, as long as it still can't suddenly generate revenue and profits that would make this bubble become void. AI's debt is actually very high, that's true, and AI could collapse if, just like before, it can't generate enough profit and revenue to pay back its debts in time. Right now, AI is in a phase where it has to prove itself because it's at a turning point right now where there are superpowers saying, hey, I'm going all in on AI, and others saying they're not going to focus on AI. It's really at a crossroads, a turning point where the superpowers of the world, are you really sure you're going to head in the direction of AI? For sure. Judging by the amount of money being poured in, it's highly likely. So if you ask whether AI is worth investing in, AI is actually a tool that can really generate profits, though maybe not today. And if AI ends up winning this whole battle, then yeah, it probably is the right choice.